Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And welcome to
There's Something Wrong with the Elizabeths.
This is our third one.
Yep.
And probably the one that I'm most afraid of.
With good reason. Yeah.
But I'm ready to lean in on what Lizzie said, which is this is not about fun.
No.
It's about breaking ourselves down.
Yes.
And so, Lizzie, do you want to introduce them to what we're going to be watching?
We are going to be watching for 24 hours the Emoji Movie.
Oh, God.
A film that many cannot sit through in one sit, can't go through the first sitting. We're going to be watching probably a dozen times in a row.
Lizzie, can you tell me about your first experience with the Emoji Movie?
Yeah, I remember just hearing that it was really bad. And my sister Veronica and I, and apparently my husband Robert, though I don't actually remember him being there, and he doesn't remember anything about the movie. So I don't know if he was there actually or not, or if he was just like walking in and out. Maybe he sat down and he left halfway through. I don't know. But we sat down and we watched it, and unlike other bad movies that we have enjoyed, I just remember feeling nothing at the end of it. Like, I have said it before, not necessarily on camera, but and I'll say it again, there's a world of difference between a bad drama, like Showgirls, and possibly Lady in the Water. Not even really sure that we ever categorized it.
Or even The Room. The Room is a bad drama.
Yes. There's a world of difference between a bad drama and a bad comedy. When there's supposed to be laughs and there's no laughs, that's genuinely it's just painful. It's just painful. Yeah. That was my experience. And you?
Mine was less dramatic. I watched it alone. I watched it alone on Netflix because I thought I remember it being really early in the morning, and I was like, oh, it's a stupid kids movie, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And I remember just exiting it mad. I was just mad. Like, you talked about feeling nothing. I wish I'd felt nothing because I just felt anger that this existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It broke me down in one viewing. I was not angry. I didn't feel, I just was like, this is end game capitalism.
Something we learned from Lady in the Water that I think we're going to bring to this one is in Lady in the Water, we almost had breakdowns really early, like 5 hours in. Yeah. And we both kind of ran from it and fought it, thinking that they were going to come back later, and then they never did. And so this time I'm going to lean into every breakdown I have. If I have one per showing, that's fine. Yeah. I've been fighting doing the Emoji Movie since the very first round. We mentioned it in Showgirls, we mentioned it in Lady in the Water, because of three things. Number one, it's so short. Lady in the Water and Showgirls were 2 hours long. This is 90 minutes. We're probably going to get 12, maybe 13 showings in, whereas with those we only did 10. So that's an additional issue.
That was part of my argument as to why we should do
it. Number two, it's animated, so there's no background. Like, there's nothing there that's unintentional. In Showgirls, we had lots of fun stuff going on in the background. We had Mom Jean's Dance Lady. In Lady in the Water, we had stuff where it's like, is this supposed to be there? Is it not? There's a lot going on that we can look at. With this, everything, like, someone was paid to put everything in the background, so there's nothing unintentional. So that's going to be painful. Yeah. And then number three, Showgirls was an attempt at art. A failed attempt, but it was an attempt at art. Lady in the Water was an attempt at art. This, and I've done a lot of research, which I'll bring up later, was one of the fastest produced animated movies in history. This was a cash grab.
Believe it.
In every way. So there's not really anyone being like, I'm making something worthy here. This is just a cash grab. So it's going to be painful.
Yeah. What do you feel that you have learned from our last two viewings?
I came into Lady in the Water, our second one, so cocky. I was like, I remember showing up and not really having done any research. Not really having done anything. Barely packed the right stuff. I didn't have a charger even. It's like, I know how this is. I did fine with Showgirls. It was a mistake. Yeah. I wasn't ready.
Lady in the Water is not Showgirls.
No.
It's not.
So with this one, I am wearing comfy clothes. I'm wearing a comfy bra. I brought comfort foods. I'm ready. to just make myself as physically comfortable as I can, because emotionally and spiritually it's going to be hard.
That was very smart.
What about you?
Oh, I've learned nothing. I mean, I feel like, yeah, I'm the least prepared for this one than I've ever been.
Really?
I've been having so many dreams that things like get in the way. I had a dream last night that I was kidnapped, and that it pushed back our 24-hour schedule a couple of hours because I was kidnapped the day before we got me back. It was like, you can't do 8, but like 10 we can start, 10 a.m. You know, and I just sat down and just did it. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think I am prepared, and I think that's okay. I think that's part of... I mean, I'm excited for you to be prepared. I feel like I was very prepared for Lady in the Water.
Yes, you were. You were very prepared. So I've kind of taken some of that on.
Yeah, I think Showgirls, we were both like, okay, let's do this, let's get ready. And then, yeah, I was, for whatever reason, I think because I had my breakdown in Showgirls, I was like then very prepared for Lady in the Water and felt ready for it. And now I'm I feel numb going into it. I think I'll feel numb going out of it, but we'll see. We shall see.
Well, so before we get started, I have a couple games. I have purchased the Emoji Encyclopedia. That is, someone got paid to write this, and it is really atrocious. They explain like different emojis, and if you mix them with other things, what they could mean, and they rate the emojis.
Fantastic.
Like ears, this emoji is all ears. He hears about everything that goes on in Textopolis because he's a good listener. Someone was paid to write that. It says usefulness 2 stars. And if you pair it with monkey, you get I've got a secret.
Oh.
I don't know how monkey and ears means I've got a secret, but in the back there's a quiz. There's several quizzes, and I think we should do the first one before we watch the movie.
Yeah.
Because the movie will prime us. This is, could you outrun the AV squad? So would we, the Elizabeth, survive the Emoji Movie? Okay, you ready?
No. But go ahead.
Jean and High Five managed to make it all the way off the phone before being captured by the AV squad. How far would you get? Number 1, Smiler has declared that you're a malfunction and must be deleted. What do you do? A, plead with the poop emoji to fight for you. B, hide behind a tree emoji to sneak past the AV bots and get out of Textopolis. Or C, see if you can camouflage yourself among the emojis in the Losers Lounge.
I would go with B.
Okay, that's actually what I was thinking.
Okay, yeah, poop doesn't seem like much of a fighter.
Poop doesn't give a shit.
And, I mean, going and hiding in the lounge... Oh. And going and hiding in the lounge, I don't feel like it's gonna do... Like, and then what?
If you're successfully hidden, you're still in one spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. 2, the AV squad finds you in the sinking ship, which is SYNC, sinking ship. Which malware do you send to fight them? A, spam, because she seems really clever and quick thinking. B, the pirates, because they're brave. Or C, the internet trolls, because they could really break the bots down.
The trolls, I guess?
That's what, oh man, okay.
Okay.
See? Elizabeth's think alike. Okay. You're in the wallpaper, and the AV bots are right on your trail. What's the best app to enter? A, the video app. They get distracted by cute cat videos. B, the dance app. They probably can't dance as well as you can. C, the pictures app. They'll never find you among all these selfies.
I'm thinking the videos with the cute cats.
Get out of my brain. We haven't disagreed on one. We've got 2 more questions left. Okay. What is the most important thing to remember about the AV bots? I don't remember them from the movie at all, so let's guess. A, they have lasers. B, they can always find you. C, they only know 1 sentence.
I don't know why it's important to remember that they only know 1 sentence.
Yeah.
And knowing that they always find me, that feels defeatist. What's the other one?
They have lasers.
Okay, you should remember that.
Yeah.
That's important to remember.
I will say I'm torn between lasers and find you.
Yeah.
But let's go with lasers. All right, last one. 5, how do you avoid getting hit by the AV bots' lasers? A, hide. B, run as fast as you can. C, duck. They'll hit another person instead.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Probably hide.
Really? I was going to say run.
Okay. Well, I can't really run very well.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
But I'm a good hider.
All right, give me 1 second. We're going to score.
Okay. You should give yourself, if you're going to run, then you should score.
No, because I wouldn't leave you behind.
Oh my God. Okay. Just so you know, if we are ever in a situation where, like, I'm being killed or trapped or whatever, you can leave me behind.
That's really nice.
Yeah, that's actually really important to me, that all the people in my life know you can leave me behind. I will leave you behind.
Okay.
Because my thought is, I'm going to go and get help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, like, if I stay and try to get you out of some situation that, like, this other person obviously has the upper hand or whatever, like, now we're both dead. Mm. But I can at least go and get help.
Okay.
So
would you like to hear how we did?
Yes.
Okay, we had 12 points. We were right on the edge. Welcome to the cloud. You made it all the way off the phone without being captured by the AV squad. Congratulations. And I will say the one that was the lowest was hide.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And before we begin, so we can get ourselves in the right mindset, I'd like to introduce you to a game that we're going to be playing with everyone. That I'm very proud of. So this movie was famously panned by critics, and it actually has the shortest review of any critic on Rotten Tomatoes, which is the X emoji. It's just a no emoji. It's even shorter than the word no. It's just one character. So I'm going to read you selections from critics' reviews and selections from the Unabomber's Manifesto. And I want you to guess which one is which. Okay, you ready?
Okay, yeah.
All right, let me find a good one. Children didn't create the thoroughly dumbed down society they've been introduced into, like some sort of virus.
Unabomber.
That is from the Village Voices review of the Emoji Movie. Let's see. People vary in their susceptibility to advertising and marketing techniques. Some are so susceptible that even if they make a great deal of money, they cannot satisfy their constant cravings for the shiny new toys that the marketing industry dangles before their eyes.
Unabomber?
That was Unabomber,
okay.
Yes, okay. But the fact that there's a question,
yes.
Isn't it great? Okay, one last one I think is the perfect one to go out on. You ready? Hear that? It's the end of the world.
Emoji Movie.
Emoji Movie from the New York Post.
All right,
you ready?
That's viewing one.
Here we go. So that was the first viewing of the Emoji Movie. And we're just over an hour and 20 minutes into this.
So we didn't, in the past, we have had so much to say right off the bat about the movies that we've been watching that we have, like, had to place a thing where it's
silent
like, yes,
viewing.
like, we're gonna have a silent viewing, and that's just, like, a little extra tortuous, but, like,
and I always hate it.
Yeah, but it makes you really think about what you're watching. And I realized we were what felt like 40 minutes in.
It was
probably
12.
Yeah, 12
because the little timer was on screen. 12 minutes in.
Yeah. And I just realized we hadn't said a word. Neither of us had made a sound. And I was like, should this be our silent viewing?
Just so we don't have to do it later?
Yeah.
The very first viewing was silent because I will say, there was a lot to take in. I am looking forward to finding all the things in the background of what's there to be found.
Yeah, I did already notice, they've got the special favorites club or whatever. And I noticed that the menorah is in there.
Interesting. Is Alex Jewish?
I guess.
I found it weird he's 15 and there was a beer thing in there.
I mean, even if he is Jewish, that feels like a very seasonal thing. Does this take place in winter?
No, it was the fall dance.
Oh, you're right. It was the fall dance. Why is the menorah?
I don't know. Maybe it means it's lit, but he's being ironic about it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
and then the beer and all that. There were a lot of cocktail emojis in there To where, yeah, that was. I would not have been concerned if I saw that like secret area where they're like, what does a 15-year-old boy have to hide from his parents? And they were like, And then you go in there and it's like pirates.
Oh yeah, and that was something. The piracy app.
Yeah.
No app is called the piracy app. Like
you'd think Sony would know that.
Yeah, Sony of all.
Yeah, but. Yeah, that was not disturbing, but like, yeah, having all those, I was like, why does he have all of this like alcohol in his favorites?
Well, and a 15-year-old boy in the loser lounge has the eggplant emoji. I'm
Right.
calling bullshit on that.
Yeah, why is the eggplant emoji in there? Why? Why
Yeah,
is
the eggplant emoji would be frequently used.
Yes.
So I have a question. I wanna lay out the premise that we're introduced to, because it's a bizarre way to approach a narrative structure. Like, I'm going to say, if you're going to make a cheap, fast movie that's just a cash grab, you want to go for a very standard narrative structure, right? Instead, we are introduced to a hero whose problem is that he already has a rich inner life, and he is having appropriate reactions to the world around him. So when he sees cute things, he thinks they're cute. When he sees funny things, he thinks they're funny. He loves the world that he lives in. He desperately wants to be good at the job that he's been assigned. He loves his home, and he has concerned and caring parents.
Yes.
Like, that's usually the end of a movie.
Yes.
Instead, we're introduced to that. Like, it would be different if he was like, I never wanted this. I didn't want to be emoji. Emojis are stupid. And then throughout the movie, we discover, like, emojis are beautiful and purposeful, and they, like, improve the world, and he should love his job, and he should love his world, and then he ends loving it.
I mean,
but no.
let's be real. I mean, this movie is written by somebody who read the Wikipedia articles of Inside Out and the Lego Movie.
What I do find interesting, no one that made this movie talks about it after the movie came out. After the movie came out, they just all shut up.
Yeah.
Like, they realized it was horrible. There's no defense. There's no nothing. Everybody was doing interviews before the movie came out. They don't talk about it afterward. This is a quote from the director. I just thought, oh my gosh, these are the new toys of the world. I mean, you can make a movie about cars. You can make a movie about ... He couldn't come up with anything else. You can make a movie about cars. You can make a movie about... These are the little characters that exist. And our producer was like, I want to know what the story is inside the phone. And then TJ Miller says, oh, everyone was, being so weird about the premise of this, but they made the Lego movie and that was great. It's like, no, it's very different.
Yeah, this is not the Lego Movie.
Also, you use Legos to create narratives and storylines. Like, I use Legos as almost like dolls. Like, I built them worlds and then I had them live in those worlds. That makes sense to make a movie about it. The Emoji Movie does not.
Nothing about... Yeah. No. I don't have a whole lot to say, which is unfortunate and unusual.
I do have a question for you. I just looked over at your notes. You have little smiley faces.
I have
drawn.
some smiley faces.
Is this saying that the emojis are purposeful in real life? We do need...
Emojis are very purposeful. I mean, I do think... I mean, I feel like most everyone that I know and communicate with on the phone, we communicate in words. Unlike that one kid that was like, words aren't cool.
Oh, yeah. Words aren't cool.
Okay. I mean, I'm not a 15-year-old, so I don't know. I could be out of touch. But, like, I do think via text, sometimes words can be more confusing than an emoji. So, like, you can say, like, oh yeah, awesome, and in text that could look sarcastic or it could be happy, like, it's all very... But when you send the emoji, I mean, you could send like a eye rolling emoji, or you could send like an upside down face emoji, or you could send like a happy emoji, and like all of those, are like, they're more specific. I do think sometimes the emojis are more helpful actually than words. Yeah, I did not think about it, but I put little smiley faces instead of, I feel like usually I put like stars.
Yeah.
But I was I had the conscious thought that if I put a little star, I might think it's something important. But I put the smiley faces to indicate things that could be my potential emoji bop.
Is it emoji bop or emoji pop? It's one of them. They do a dance. This is going to be our highlight. They do a dance, and it's the emoji pop. Do you want to do? It's like, yeah. So what was your emoji pop / bop? We'll watch it with the subtitles on. What stood out to you? What made you happy this viewing?
Okay, so actually, one thing that I remembered from the first time I watched it, and I said that I ended that viewing feeling nothing inside, which is true, and it is true today as well. But I remember getting one little burst of like genuine serotonin when you're just like like a little bit of happiness when I heard the song "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go." I remember that from the first time. I was like, and I think that's a song that I like. I know it's a song that I like, but I think in the sea of just like bullshit, like it is one life raft that normally in my life I'm like, but like in this movie I was like, it makes me happy. I feel something I can hold on to for a minute. So that's the one thing, is they exploited that song's a bop, and
I was surprised they used that song, mostly because I'm like, I don't think kids today would associate that as a dance song.
No, but I think that I can't think of any examples, but I feel like it's fairly common to take like an older song and then put it in a movie for younger people and have it be like,
it's like,
whoa,
the parents will like this.
Yeah.
No, the parents won't like any of this.
No. What about you? What was your emoji bop? Because we'll edit it later. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to do that.
I like that they consistently show the ones where there's like skin tones. I like that they like the emojis where there's skin tones. I like that they show different skin tones. So like if you look, especially in the background, there's like darker skin tone hands or darker skin tone faces. Because whatever people say, orange is not neutral, or else they wouldn't have any brown people on The Simpsons.
Right.
They would all just be orange. Orange is not neutral. So, and I mean, I like the inclusion of that. I'm in a same-sex marriage, and before they came out with the woman-woman couple picture, we used to use like different ones that we thought represented us. But it was nice when like they released one that was just the woman-woman. I was like, oh, look at that. And now we're going to have a kid. And now there's like woman-woman and different kids. So it's kind of cool, and I like it when I feel included. So hopefully that would help other people feel included.
I had a momentary opposite reaction to that. Not that I had like a moment where I was like, and then I just moved on and didn't feel anything much of this movie. Because I think I liked that they had like different colored like princesses, like different skin tones of hands, like walking around, like they exist. But it was weird to me seeing Alex. Alex had like predominantly dark skin toned characters ready to go, as if they were the last ones used.
I have a contradiction to that. And we'll be able to watch it again.
Be able to.
When we're in the Paris scene where we see his family, I think his mom is black.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I see, and I wouldn't, because he is, you know,
he's animated, very light skinned.
Yeah, I assumed he was Hispanic or something, and so that's what I was expecting to see up there. But yeah, we can look and see if mom is black.
I will say, we're only one in, and I already had like 2 pages, and most of them are questions.
I got a lot of questions.
I have a lot of questions. I have so many. One I do want us to think about going forward, and it kind of goes off of my, like, this is the premise. What is the conflict of this movie, and what is the message of this movie? Because we have a lot of conflicts and a lot of messages. Like, it doesn't matter if you're number 1, if there are no other numbers. I'd rather have one true friend and be good at my job, essentially. What is the conflict and what is the message?
Yeah. Do we want to answer that now, or do we want to watch
Do you have an
this
answer?
movie again? I mean, I think this film has a lot of just convoluted mishmash of, like, there's at the beginning, High Five is like, they're not his friends, they're fans, and fans are more important.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the end, all of a sudden, High Five is like, I guess I'd rather have one friend. And yeah, there's the whole, like, express yourself, stand out, very Lego Movie response, and, you know, and then the, like, I really like a guy. I'm glad you're one of those guys that can express his emotions. Yeah, I mean, it's just a bunch of cliche. It's like they read the Wikipedia page for a bunch of children's movies.
That's a really fair assessment.
But that's, I mean, I don't know that there's any one overarching. We can see if we come up with something.
Maybe that can be something we ask our guests as well.
Yeah.
What's the conflict? What's the message?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready to watch it again?
I am, and I'm actually, you know, I am devastated that we have to keep watching this, but I am glad that we're going to watch it so many times, and I have so many things to talk about with you, because, like, I barely addressed many of the things that I wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot to talk about with the Emoji Movie, and I honestly think we're probably going to give this more thought than anyone that made it ever did.
Absolutely. That is what we do best. I mean, we really...
We dig in.
We dig in deep.
We dig in. Oh. All right.
Okay.
On to viewing 2.
Viewing 2.